Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, my parents are traveling to see us and I don't want them to meet my MIL. Is that selfish? MIL looking after DD. Feeling like my in-laws don't care for my husband. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My parents are traveling to see us and I don't want them to meet my MIL. Is that selfish? My parents never met my husband's parents. They were supposed to meet in 2020 but COVID hit and they didn't get to meet. My husband and I are from different countries. I moved to live with him. I'm very close to my family, had a good job back home, but I've decided to leave everything behind and decided to move to his country. We put pros and cons list and we thought it's best for me to move. This year I got fired and we couldn't afford to live in the big city on one income, so we've decided to move to his hometown. While looking for a place, we stayed at my MIL's house. I was depressed, sad and missing my parents. One of the days I hit a breaking point and I said to my husband that I just want to go back home. His sister heard us talking, she freaked out, got anxiety and told my MIL. We did make up in the same day, so it wasn't a huge blowout. After we made up, my MIL sat with my husband and basically said that I can't speak like that and his sister was freaking out because of me and I can't behave like this. My husband explained that I'm going through hard times and it's not nice to speak like that, so she exploded saying that I'm ungrateful and she is done with me while crying. I apologized to her, but I did explain that she should explain to her daughter that stuff like this happens, but she basically said she never seen anyone fight that extreme like you two. Anyways, I apologized for my behavior. Later on I noticed she stopped talking to me. She always directs the conversation to my husband and I just sit there and listen to them. My husband once again talked to her about it and she said she didn't notice doing any of the things I claim. She also said that I'm being ungrateful and racist, because once I said white people can't dance, though she said a lot of racist comments like minorities vote for other minorities just because of their race and that's why Obama won, because black people voted for him because he is black. But somehow I'm racist because I said a funny stereotype. BTW, my husband says funny stereotypes about my race and no one in my family gets offended by it. And when we moved into our new house, she texted my husband saying he is always welcome by, no mention of me of course. Anyways, my parents are coming in a month. I'm tired and depressed and have severe anxiety and I just want to spend time with them with no drama. Is it selfish of me not wanting her to come? She's acting as if you're invisible. That makes your parents invisible too. I never looked at it like this. But yeah, you are right. NTA. You don't have to be treated like a second-class citizen for missing your family and maybe even your country, and then extend the olive branch anyway. They sound like the kind of people who would burn it if you did anyway. What kind of person confronts a guest in their home over information received from eavesdropping? To me, that is so trashy. Why would you introduce your parents to someone who barely speaks to you? Not selfish. FYI, making jokes about other races based on stereotypes is in fact racist. Curiosity, OP, how old is sister? You are totally not selfish and very valid to distance yourself from mil/sil indefinitely. Take care of yourself. No, that's not selfish and you shouldn't worry about her feelings. Enjoy the time with your parents. You gave up your whole life, desires, and wants outside of being married to someone equals as someone who did that when I was younger. It never seems to end well in all of the occurrences I've seen. Maybe you'll luck out, but it doesn't sound like things will get better with your in-laws, and frankly your relationship was none of their business. It wasn't your job to apologize for them eavesdropping and inserting themselves into your personal business with your husband. Your husband should have absolutely stood up for you and shut it down. It doesn't matter if you were living with them, it's still your relationship. Your sister-in-law had no business bringing it to her mother. Maybe doing an updated pros and cons list is needed, created solely by you, so that way you can think about your needs and desires to be fully self-actualized in an honest way without even your husband's inputs about what you need in your life to make you happy and thriving. Allowing your parents to see how your MIL interacts with you, or, if her behavior changes, she might put on a happy face and treat you nicely when your parents show up, could be a positive for opening up the conversation about the dysfunction going on. Avoiding having them meet only keeps the dirty secret of being treated badly safe for your mother-in-law, but it does nothing positive for you or your mental health. Also, you probably aren't doing as good of a job as you think of hiding that you're miserable. It doesn't do anything positive or help bring a resolution unless you address it all head-on. Good luck. Nah, you're not selfish. Her disdain for you might also affect how she is with your parents, and there's really no need to put yourself through that either. Not selfish at all. You are needing the support of your mother and father. You need to do some deep thinking before your parents get to your home. Ask yourself, if nothing changes, how will you feel in 5 years, 10 years? How will you feel about your husband if he doesn't give his mom real consequences for her behavior toward you? If you have children and she wants to see them but not you, how will you feel? If she talks badly about you in front of your children, how will you feel? Think about it. Talk to a counselor. Then have a very serious talk with your husband. Living life feeling depressed and like a second-class citizen is no way to live. No, it's not selfish at all. Please do only that which makes you happy and comfortable. I wish I could give you a hug. We are in a similar position. I also left everything to come and live with my DH in his country. I know what it means to be far away from your family. We are also very close, and when times are hard or something bad happens, I really miss my family and my home, so I have that thought to go back. Of course, I'd never leave my DH and move back, but it's a normal reaction to big stress. You want the safety of your childhood home. You have every right to feel this way, and it's okay to share that with your DH. If he's never been in your position, been alone or abroad, he might not understand what you mean by wanting to go back, but I hope he has enough empathy to not fight about that but is understanding and supportive. But the thing is, your SIL was a selfish B*TCH, sorry. Who actually tells on their grown and married brother and SIL for fighting and pretends that gives her anxiety? It's none of her business. Your DH is not protecting you enough, and racism is never okay. They must stop that immediately. I'm sorry you have to live with them, sorry you feel so miserable, but be careful please. No job/JN is worth your health. Soon enough you'll be working and living far away from that nasty MIL, I'm sure. But after how she treated you, you'd be justified not to interact with her at all. The same goes for your parents. If they meet, I have a feeling MIL would be nasty to them as well, or just talk badly about you and your marriage under the guise of wanting to help you and your DH. Whatever you decide, good luck and stay strong. Better things are coming. Enjoy your time with your parents on your terms. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty about anything. And ignore MIL for your sanity until you move out. MIL looking after DD. Hi, first time posting here, but I am looking for advice please. DH and I have a daughter of 16M. We both work full-time, but I have every Wednesday off at present using annual leave accrued during maternity leave. DD goes to nursery on Monday and Friday, on Tuesday and Thursday goes to my mom. DD will occasionally go to MIL for a few hours here and there, mainly on a Wednesday, whenever it is convenient for me. So the issue is, DH feels MIL should be looking after DD as much as my mom does, because he thinks MIL is upset about not seeing DD as much, but I have reservations. DD was once sent home in a nappy held together by cello tape because MIL couldn't see the tabs. A few times I have specifically given MIL food for DD, but she has been given other stuff. MIL has recently had chemo and radiotherapy and is not 100% strength-wise. DD is a very active toddler. MIL home is not baby-proof. I trust my own mom 100% and just have a gut-off feeling with MIL. I cannot explain it. I also feel that DH is projecting the responsibility of MIL regularly seeing DD onto me, rather than him taking DD to see MIL at the weekend, for example. I have also told DH I am not comfortable with MIL having DD for a whole day when I am at work, as all I will be doing is worrying about her. I find it difficult for her to have DD for a few hours as it is. I was told, well, tough shit as MIL should be entitled to see DD as much as my mum does. Anyway, any advice? It's causing a rift between all of us. I was told, well, tough shit as MIL should be entitled to see DD as much as my mum does. First, talking to a partner like this is not acceptable. I've been with my partner for 15 years and he has never spoken to me like this. Second, entitled is not a thing when it comes to childcare. The safety of your child and quality of care should always come first. This should be DH's priority. You aren't letting your mom take care of LO because your mom is entitled to the time with LO. Your mom is providing you and DH with quality childcare for LO. Third, let's say his mom has actually said she wants to see LO more. That's a totally different thing from wanting to have a whole day, every week, where she is solely responsible for the care of a toddler. I agree, if he wants his mom to see LO more, he should be taking LO to see her, not putting everyone in an uncomfortable situation for his own convenience. An analogy that might help: let's say one of your parents, PIL1, is a skilled general contractor. For continuity, PIL2 likes to build things, but has trouble following directions and doing things to code, and also recently had chemo and radiation and was exhausted. If there was something that needed to be fixed, you would call PIL1, not ask PIL2 to come help 50% of the time because they are entitled. You would also not act like you're doing PIL1 a favor, like your DH is doing with your mom. Your husband is an idiot. Childcare is not determined by what's fair for the grandparents, but by what's best for your child. From the examples you've given, MIL does not make great childcare. Agreed. Any one of the 5 reasons listed above would be a good enough reason to change childcare provider. All 5 together means she's not safe. If DH wants his mom to see LO, he needs to make it happen himself. Also point out to DH that any bug that LO picks up at nursery can do serious damage to an immunocompromised chemo patient. Has MIL been cleared by her medical professionals to be around a toddler in daycare yet? Radiation therapy and some kinds of chemo will require a patient to take time away from certain populations, including young children and those in highly contagious situations, for a period of time for the protection of the children and the patient. I'm a nurse, but not your nurse. Please discuss concerns with your provider. Speaking as a cancer patient, during chemo treatments I was asked to be careful with any bathroom output I had for 48 hours. I was not toxic, I could hug people, but I was very tired, so I wouldn't want to look after a toddler during treatment. It's more dangerous for the patient than it is for anyone else due to being immune compromised. I was thinking the same. Is she cytotoxic? So your MIL, who clearly has health issues, should be responsible for a very active toddler, to be fair. That isn't fair, it is stupid. This should not be about who gets what time, but about keeping your LO safe and fostering a good and healthy relationship with all of her grandparents/loved ones. Ask your husband if the roles were reversed and his mom was perfectly healthy, but your mom was ill, with poor eyesight and undergoing medical treatments, if he would be happy if you insisted on giving her equal time 1-1 with LO? It is DH's responsibility to take your LO to see his mom for visits where she can enjoy time with LO without having to be responsible for her health/safety. No matter what, your LO's safety and well-being is paramount to anyone's feelings. I'm a MIL, 69 years, who watches 2 grandchildren on a regular basis and have since they were tiny. They are 4 and 8 now. I watch the 4-year-old every day still. I work out regularly to stay strong. These are my thoughts. 1. This is an intense responsibility and requires good stamina, which your MIL does not currently have. 2. If she is unwilling to baby-proof her house for regular visits, she may be unwilling to babysit anyhow. Have you asked her? 3. Your husband is literally telling you, I am less concerned about the safety of our child and your reservations than I am about my idea of fairness. For, even if you were to acquiesce to his demand, your child could very well end up watching TV, looking at an electronic device they're fascinated by 2 years, and eating whatever is easy for MIL. Not a terribly enriching upbringing. So, do you still feel conflicted about your spot-on intuition? I hope not. You are your baby's protector. If Mil has had chemo and radiation, not only is her strength sapped, but her immune system is lower. A toddler in daycare could bring any number of bugs to her that her body couldn't easily fight off. It's not just about being able to keep up with an active toddler. It's about keeping a cancer patient healthy. Your so doesn't appear to have thought this through. Does your mom get along with Mil? Maybe they could watch your daughter together once in a while. Not that, but depending on how long since her treatment, both chemo and radiation can be harmful to babies and small children. You don't want to risk her coming in contact with even small amounts of chemo drugs or radiation. A whole day at her house with frequent skin contact might be a no-go for a while. My Mil went through chemo recently, starting when my daughter was 6 months and finishing when she was just over a year. I would have never let her babysit then, and even now, I'm hesitant. Chemo brain is a thing. My Mil became extremely forgetful and had no strength or energy. I'm still hesitant because it takes some time for someone who underwent that kind of treatment to bounce back. Your Mil should not be watching your toddler if you don't feel comfortable with it. Your husband should be taking her for visits. And like others have said, it sounds like he doesn't want to have to do that. Feeling like my in-laws don't care for my husband. And I don't think he realizes it at all. I've noticed his family disrespects him and doesn't seem to care much for him. For example, his father is out of the picture. His mother stopped working as soon as my husband got a job after high school in a computer shop fixing computers, and he was supporting her and his 3 sisters. Till now he still supports all of them. His sister has a well-paid job as well as 2 successfully business, and he's still providing everything for her. When he asked her to pay some of her own stuff because he had just gotten married and wanted some help, she refused. It seems like he thinks this behavior is normal. They also exclude me out of things and act as if I'm not even part of the family. And they like to twist my words to make it sound like I'm a terrible human being and turn me and my husband against each other. I did a big birthday surprise for my husband, and I never told them anything about it because it was an intimate surprise between I did just for him. Weeks later, they told my husband that I told them that I only did the birthday surprise to catch him cheating, which makes no sense at all. I'm not one to expect gifts or anything, but his family does absolutely nothing for him. No one ever gives him a gift for his birthday or even his wedding, while he does for them. It just hurts me that his family treats him as such and he's completely oblivious of it. I say this gently to you, Opie. Do not, I repeat, do not have any children with this man as this situation is right now. He is already supporting a family and there is barely any room for more, meaning you, Opie. 100%. He has no room for continuing or adding to his family. And as a child of the unwanted spouse, I got this treatment by extension. Not fair. Sorry, why is your husband providing financial support for a sister who is working and has 2 businesses? He comes from a family that believes men should financially support women. So she just spends her income on clothing and shoes. That sister is taking money from your family. She needs to be cut off. Perhaps she can take care of Mil. You deserve better. You should be number 1 priority, not last on the totem pole. May I ask if this is a cultural thing? And do you also work? Because you're supporting them too. And even if you don't work, it's your money too. He needs to give them a 30 to 60 day notice that he is cutting all of them off. And when the pissing and moaning starts, block all contact. I feel that your husband is being financially abused by his family and has been conditioned to believe that this is normal. I would seriously hold off having kids until you get this resolved. It sounds to me like you will be expected to work just to pay your current bills while he works to give his family the lifestyle to which they are accustomed. Your husband seriously needs therapy and his mother and siblings need to find jobs. And if you bring children into this mess, financially you will be a single parent. I wish you the best, OP. Although I do have the question of, if you knew this was an occurrence, why did you marry him? Time to sit down with a therapist and a financial advisor. I hope you aren't living with MIL and the SILs. If so, it will be even more difficult to cut them off. His family is financially abusing him. He needs therapy. Your husband needs therapy. Also, think about the time when you have kids. What will happen when his mommy and sisters decide they need the money more than your baby? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.